This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. You're listening to episode number 334. That's the number of career doubles by Adam Dunn. So take that, you three true outcomes Adam Dunn haters. I'm your host tonight, Lux, and today's game will feature the Benchwarmer team of Marcus and Josh Snyder against the team of Scott, and assistant coach for our Patreon team and co-host of the Throwback Trivia Takedown, the Bee's Knees, Adam Speas.
Hey!
How do you like that? Adam,
I love it.
Talk to me. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You forgot to say I am the superior co-host to Throwback Trivia Takedown. Everybody knows I'm better.
I mean, you are the
brother.
one that shows up on our show. So from that perspective,
he ain't no patron.
So tell me how you're doing, or tell me how your brother's doing. Whatever works for you. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me.
Nobody cares about John. Everybody cares about me. I am doing. I'm so humble. I am doing all right. Nothing too crazy. I haven't fared very well on this show. As in, my sports knowledge is minimal to just surface level at best. So I'm placing a bet on myself to stay mostly sober this night, which is not my typical. But the way I have it, I have 7 different bourbons at my feet. I am starting with only drinking water. Every time I actually know / get a question correct, I will move up the bourbon chain to where my last one is the highest proof, and I will start it with the lowest proof. So it's just starting with water. If I know a question, I will then show you, reveal, give you a little, tease of what the whiskey is, and then I'll move up and up and up until if I actually get 7 questions right, it's a high proof bugger, and I think it'll be a good time.
So wait a minute. So you drink when you know something.
I drink when I drink,
and you're on your honor. So if
I'm so confident I don't know.
Okay, but if I change up the questions, question number 1, what's Adam's middle name or whatever?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, okay, just checking.
If I contribute,
things
I will.
And he drinks.
Okay,
I will not be contributing. I haven't yet. I think the entire 3 or 4 episodes I've been on, I don't think I've gotten 7 questions myself. Period. So
okay, got it. All right, well, let's see how this goes. I think you might have a chance because some of my questions aren't too bad tonight. All right, Scott, how you doing? What's happening?
I'm good. It's kind of a lose-lose for me because if Adam contributes, then I don't have as much fun. If Adam contributes, then he's drunk, and then I have to do all the work. So it's kind of a lose. I don't really see how this works in my favor. But I'm happy to be here. It's No Shave November, and these guys are taking that to heart. Walling, I know this is an audio medium, but Marcus has a real nice thick boy going on that I'm a big fan of. David, I came on the chat. I didn't know if that was David or Scott Norton from the NWO, but apparently it's David's growing out some sort of goatee. You do look younger. Adam and I, we've done this before. It didn't go well.
No,
we don't expect it to go well again. But I always want to honor the hard work that he and his brother put in for their podcast, which is a blast that all of us enjoy. But it's also a prophecy that we're hoping to not fulfill tonight, but we might. So tonight we're going to be Throwback Trivia Breakdown.
I love it. Well, I'm going to go to Marcus first because I haven't seen this gentleman in a very long time. So Marcus, in 30 seconds, recap your entire football season as an offensive coach.
I'm a bad man. I am very good at this. The one thing about my offense that I run is it is a little bit complicated, and we just ran into some issues with that. And, just some first year stuff. We ended up 5-5. We played for the league championship, lost our last 3, which isn't ideal, but all of our losses were by 4 or less points.
Ooh.
So, well, excuse me. We 4 of our 5 losses were by 4 or less. Next year will be better, more continuity, but it was a blast. I had so much fun, and hopefully I'll be on a college or NFL sideline near you in 10 years.
So
I'm young for coaching. I'm old for life, but I'm not old, but old for, I feel old, but coaching is until I'm in the dirt, I can do it. So
as you look forward to next year, are you returning a lot of good players coming back?
Yes, sophomore quarterback threw 15 touchdowns, no interceptions. So yeah, we're very excited about the future.
That's gonna be awesome. All right, Josh, how you been?
All right, this is my 6th straight episode, and I think this is the end of the run. I'm trying to figure out whether there's a Benchwarmers, Cal Ripken Award for Iron Man or
Oh
something like
shoot.
that.
I gotta
Probably
figure out what that
not.
is.
Yeah, David, you got to look in the log, figure that out.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's Scott that I've got to catch. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, it would be.
Probably. I
It
had
would be.
no life in 2020.
So, but I just did a little run around the Baltimore Beltway to Linthicum Heights, which sounds like Mike Tyson is trying to say Tim Lincecum, to pick up a package from like the FedEx Center here. So a little tired, little road tired, and going to rely on my Hawk fan to bring us our team name.
Okay, Marcus, what's your team name?
Yeah, we are the Seahawks community devastated by the loss of Kenny Easley. Everybody's got their own Mount Rushmore, but you would never find me disparaging anybody that would have Kenny Easley on it. So
Yeah.
so tonight our team name is Taking It Easily.
Can we switch to Pimpin' Ain't Easily?
I wouldn't hate it.
I think that'd be very confusing for me, but I do love both team names quite
Even
a
better
bit.
then.
That's right. No, you don't want to confuse me early. That would be very hard. Okay, well, we've got our team names, got our teams. I think we're raring to go. Adam's got his bourbon lined up, so let's get Dan in here for the rule read.
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
Okay, today's first quarter is going to be pre and post game.
Pre and post game. For this quarter, there will be 4 before and after style questions. For example, if I said, what all-time leader in receptions for the Indianapolis Colts was a Notre Dame safety drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, the answer would be Marvin Harrison Smith. Each question is worth 25 points.
So this pre and post game, these are all actually going to be triples, but don't worry, they're kind of special triples, so it should be easy. Question number 1. Any bench warmer could tell you this is the move that revolutionized the high jump. And Phil Hellmuth's or Phil Ivey's favorite quarter style. And drafted 6th in the 2006 draft, he's the earliest drafted tight end in the last 20 years, besides Kyle Pitts.
We can check in.
Fast check in by Taking It Easily. Throwback trivia take breakdown. Let's see how the bourbon's doing early on.
Scott's confident on the last part, which I wouldn't have gotten.
Yeah.
So
I'm
this
pretty sure
is not
that's-
going to be a bourbon for me. I can get other parts. So yeah,
Yeah. The last part, I believe, is Kellen Winslow Jr., '06 draft.
yeah.
Sounds about right.
I knew a third of this one. And then we certainly, Phil Ivey and Phil Ivey's favorite quarter style.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that is. Okay, so
The tie-in.
Fosbury flop, right? You said for
Yep.
the first part. You contributed. So there you go. There's your
No,
first-
I said I got to know a whole answer. That can't count.
Oh, well, these are 3-parters. David wants to keep you sober, clearly. with
Yeah, but there's a
Re-answered
fun in that.
questions.
So Fosbury.
So if we have
flop.
Fosbury flop and all right, so it's just got to be a so flop turn in river. Oh, that doesn't work.
Yeah, flop exactly. Flop turn river.
Is it not Kellen Winslow Jr.? Flop turn in river. It's a tight end
Yeah.
in '06. Eric Ebron was drafted high, but that was after '06. There's not like an Ernie or an Ernest
No.
because that we would need for river,
Yeah.
right? Like that. Oh,
there's Zach
Vernon
Ertz.
Davis. I got it.
Turn. Okay. Vernon
Yeah.
Davis. That makes sense. Good
Yeah,
call.
Vernon Davis. All right, so Fosbury flop turn in Riv Ernest Davis is what we're checking in with.
Okay. And Taking It Easily.
I was typing a bunch of stuff, and Josh is quicker than me. So he had Fosbury flop turn and river, and I followed up with, well, if it's river, it's got to be Vernon Davis. So we also checked in with Fosbury. Wait, hold on. I'm going to do my best. That guy that Neil got to do Morgan Freeman. Fosbury flop turning Vernon Davis.
That's good.
Very nicely done. Imaginary bonus points for Marcus. Well done. Both teams receiving points. And actually, I think Kellen Winslow was a few years before that, but he was
He's
also
04.
Okay, 04. That makes sense.
He's the Eli draft.
Okay, there you go. All right, question number 2. NFL record holder for most passing yards by a rookie and the only benchwarmers quarter style where the number of points one team can score is more than 200. And in 2021, he became the only college basketball player in the last 10 years to win a Conference Player of the Year, Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and Conference Freshman of the Year in the same season.
Now I have to remember what the point system is for our quarter styles.
Yeah, this requires knowledge that I should have, but
We
don't.
have a spreadsheet. Thank you,
But
Contact.
luckily,
We have a spreadsheet that does it for us.
I got a good teammate for this.
You do, that's true.
David, we're going to check in.
Yeah.
All right.
no.
Throwback Trivia Breakdown has checked in. Taking it easily. You get to talk this out.
Okay, so I believe the record holder was Cam Newton for a while, but I think Stroud broke it. CJ Stroud, or maybe it is still Cam Newton.
I thought it was Mayfield, and then I thought Herbert broke it. But maybe I'm wrong about that too. The middle
Cool.
part of it makes me think of
Well, there's a finite number of things it can be.
right.
So we should just do the thing.
In the middle first, and then build out of that. Okay, fair enough. So I think it might be let it ride or throw in the towel. That's the one that I'm thinking that if you get all the way up to the end of it, then you get more than 200 points. That just feels like who ends with let?
Well, wait, it's not sporting haikus. It's not
Pre and post.
pre and
Right.
post game. Why is this hard?
Because we don't keep score. Mason would have this if he writes out the score.
Josh, I figured you'd have this already.
I know.
Mason
I really
writes it
thought
out from
so.
Pirates.
Come on, buddy.
You should
Come
definitely
on,
work.
buddy.
You should definitely work
Most-
middle out. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, middle. So okay, stick with let it ride or throw in the towel. Does that make any sense for any of it? Missing link, I don't think missing link makes sense either. So unless there's some other one, flap, turn, and river, we already just had that one, so that one's out, right? So I feel like it's
Mhm.
got to be let it ride or throw in the towel. And we got to be running out of time. So
Okay, let it
You
ride
are.
or throw in the towel.
who ends with let? What's a quarterback whose name ends with let or let it ride? I don't know.
You got about 10 seconds.
Okay,
Let-
Leon, let
let
it ride or throw in the Temple Towels.
Perfect. The Temple Towels. Okay, let's go over to Throwback Trivia Breakdown.
Yeah, I think Snyder got confused. Baker is the touchdown record holder that Herbert, I think, passed for touchdowns in the season. I also thought it was Cam Newton, but when we work middle to front to back, it made sense because if you were to get a bunch of steals, you could get more than 200 in Lucky 7. So we checked in with Andrew Lucky 7 Mobley.
And that is correct. Yes. Evan, yeah, you guys never got that far, but Evan Mobley swept the awards and then, of course, went pro. The last guy to win those 3 awards in a major conference before him was actually the Brow, Anthony Davis.
I can test because the conference doesn't exist.
Yeah, but he still
Anyways,
did win.
I'm
it, but
joking.
Sure.
I'm
Okay.
joking.
All right. Question number 3. The only person who has won at least 4 NBA championships as a player and at least 4 NBA championships as a head coach. And the most recently added benchwarmer quarter style. And the only cornerback who was named to both the Patriots All 1990s team and the Patriots All 2000s team.
Check in.
I got it too.
We
One,
1, 2,
three, two,
3.
one.
This crazy.
I think this would be a hell of a 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let's go. This is going to be very messy. But
all right, I'll
go-
count off the 3, 2, 1, but let's hear it. 3, 2, 1.
Steve
Curriculum
Curriculum Vitae Law.
Vitae Law.
Wow. Both teams are receiving points. It's amazing that one just was so quick and the last one was so painful. All right. Well, I appreciate it.
Vitae. That's the newest one. So
That
he's
is
working
true.
off that.
That is true. All right. Our final question for the round. Question number 4. The F1 race that travels through Monte Carlo and, after missing link, the most common quarter style in benchwarmers history, and born in Ivory Coast, he racked up more than 4,000 rushing yards for West Virginia in the mid-1990s.
We can check in.
Well, shoot. Marcus didn't even get to play one of his favorite guys here. All right. Taking it easily has checked in. Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Please talk it out.
I want to give you a chance to start drinking.
I know.
I think
this
you
is
need
by
to
far the
amend-
longest I've been sober on this show.
You need to amend the whole. You have to get the whole question. I think if you just get one of the portions, you should at least take a shot.
A shot.
Maybe if I
agree.
contribute in any, yeah, that's the only way I'm going to get through these 7.
I know this, but I want
of course
you to
you
start
do.
drinking.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually, when I visited Monte Carlo, and we went to Monte Carlo at this time, and we saw, now they blocked up so many stuff, but I was able to kind of peek through some things and saw a little bit of this race. Is it not some kind of Grand Prix?
Yes, it's definitely some sort of Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Is it just called
the Monte Carlo Grand Prix, or is it something else?
I don't know. I don't know because Monte Carlo is in the question, so I don't know if it's. But it's certainly Grand Prix because it's pre and post game for the middle part, and then I believe it's Amos Zaraway.
Oh, I was not going to get that
last half. Famous Amos Zaraway.
The city and the country are basically the same thing.
There's a lot of different Grand Prix, right? So it has to have something in front of it.
Sure.
For it to stand out. Yeah, I wish you paid more attention when you were there.
You know, that would have been nice. And like I said, it's basically like a city state, and Monte Carlo is the city, and then it's like the country is not much bigger, and I cannot remember. And for some reason, I feel like it also starts with an M, but I could very well be wrong on that.
Let's wind it down. See if you guys come up with something.
All right, Monte Carlo Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Monte Carlo.
We'll check in with the Monte Carlo Grand Prix and post Gamos Zaraway.
Okay, and taking it easily.
So close there, guys. You got the first part of that, the Mon, and there's an O, but it's Monaco. It's
oh, that's just what it's called.
I knew it started with an M.
It's the Monaco Grand Prix and post game of Zaraway.
That is correct. Yes, the Monaco Grand Prix is part of the, I don't even know if it's still a thing. It used to be the Triple Crown of motorsports, was the Monaco Grand Prix, the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and the Indianapolis 500. But yes, it is called the Monaco Grand Prix officially. Yeah. I tried to give it to you, but it didn't quite work. But that's okay, because after the first quarter, we've got a tight game. We have a score of Throwback Trivia Breakdown and Taking It Easily, both at 75 points.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
The second quarter will be 5-on-3.
5-on-3. For this quarter, there will be 3 categorized lists containing 5 items, where each item is worth 10 points. The teams will attempt to guess as many items as they can. However, if a team has an incorrect guess, they will receive 0 points for that list.
Question number 1 of 5-on-3. I'm looking for the 5 metro areas that have won WNBA championships, but not NBA championships, at least for the last 60 years.
We can check in, David.
Taking It Easily has checked in. Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Let's find out how much bourbon Adam's going to have to drink for this question.
Well, it'll be, I've got the one because I said Las Vegas, because I'm pretty sure the Aces have won, especially because they have like the best player in the WNBA over the past like 5 years or whatever.
Yep, definitely Vegas, Minnesota for sure. Lynx, I think Phoenix, the Mercury, I believe have won, and to my knowledge, the Suns haven't. But now I'm not 100% on that. No, they didn't win. If they won, it was like in the 60s or 70s.
Barkley, obviously, because he never won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is he said 60 years.
60 years, yeah.
So 65. I'm thinking about Sacramento, but I don't know if the Monarchs have won a WNBA championship. They were pretty decent early on. I just don't know if they won a WNBA championship. Same with the Mystics, but also the Bullets have won. They have the one in the 70s. So they're out. The Storm are out because the Sonics won in the 70s.
Yeah.
I don't know who else. Houston Comets and Rockets have won. The LA teams that have
LA's obviously
won.
won. Yeah. Well, I don't think Chicago ever won
Uh,
one. The Sky, I don't think they've won a
the
championship.
Knicks and Liberty, right? Because the last Knicks
Yeah.
championship was in the 70s.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Dream.
That's the only one that I'm throwing out there
I don't
is
know.
potential, but because we know the Hawks have never won, but I don't know if I mean, granted, I'm not tuned into WNBA, but I can tell
Right.
you the Metro Atlanta area has not been like go Dream intense all the time.
Yeah, have the Dream ever really been that good? I don't know.
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Right. And then the Fever haven't won yet.
Yeah.
Or did they? Did they
But what
sneak one?
the Pacers did not win? Have they not won
No.
a championship? Oh, okay.
They have not.
All
Not
right,
in that time frame.
let's have you put your list together here.
Have the Fever snuck one in when they had like Tamika Catchings? I don't know. I don't think I'm confident enough to say it. If it were me, I'd go the three: Vegas, Minnesota, and Phoenix.
Yeah.
Only because the other ones I'm not 100% on.
Sure. Then no, I'm good with that. Let's go with that.
All right, David, we'll check
something.
in. We'll check in with Las Vegas, Minnesota, and Phoenix.
Okay. And taking it easily, what'd you have?
Yeah, I think you could have played it bold there. I think you had them all. So Vegas, Minnesota, and Phoenix are absolutely right. The Suns have never won a championship. And Sacramento, the Monarchs did win a championship. And I believe that the Fever did sneak one in. I don't remember exactly when, but yeah. So we went with Las Vegas, Sacramento, Minnesota, Phoenix, and Indiana.
Both teams are receiving points. I actually asked for the metro areas, but I'm going to give you both credit for Indiana means Indianapolis and Minneapolis really means, or Minnesota really means Minneapolis. But yes, so Minneapolis won in 2012, I think was the last one. And the reason I put in the clause about the 60 years is that, of course, the Minneapolis Lakers won a gazillion years ago. So yes, the rest of them are right. Minneapolis, Phoenix, Sacramento did win in the 2005. Las Vegas obviously won very recently. Indianapolis did sneak one in. 2012 was the year. So well done to both teams. That's 50 for taking it easily, 30 for throwback trivia breakdown, and at least a shot of bourbon for Adam.
Yeah.
So there you
well,
go. All right, there it goes.
I'm starting off with a nice lower proof. This is 84 proof. Tin Cup 14. It is a 14-year-old bourbon that is sourced from MGP, but in Colorado.
I like how he said I'm going to start with the lowest proof, and it's 84.
Yeah.
Well, the lowest whiskey can be is 80. So
Right.
84.
I know.
I don't even know if I own an 80 proofer.
Question number 2. This one is courtesy of our listener, Tim Simplot. So I'm looking for the 5 left-handed starting pitchers who were elected to Cooperstown on their first ballot. And I will tell you, all of them have been inducted since 1970.
We will check in.
All right. Taking it easily has checked in. Let's find out how much bourbon we're going to drain tonight, or at least on this question.
We're not going up this time, I can tell you.
Okay.
No, Adam didn't know that his own Atlanta Braves legend.
Yeah, it's like Tom
Glavine
Glavine.
was a lefty.
I didn't know he was lefty. I did. I grew up watching them, and I was like, I couldn't tell.
So no alcohol for him on this one. I think they have at least 4. It sounds like we're already down. We should probably take a little risk. I good going Randy Johnson and Steve Carlton. I think those two make the most sense. I think we can throw Glavine in there for your Braves, and then I think maybe CC Sabathia, especially because of his Yankees run. The Hall of Fame likes Yankees.
Sure, they do.
And I don't know if I agree with this, but I feel more comfortable with him over Andy Pettit as a first ballot Southpaw. So let's go. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other guys.
Yeah.
If it's like 70s, mid
Any
70s,
closer,
80s
like
guys,
Mariano's a right-hander.
yes.
Okay, I don't know.
So is Trevor Hoffman, and he said starting pitchers in the.
Oh,
in the
well, I don't want to read. I've started drinking bourbon. I don't read now. I'm already past that.
So let's go. We're gonna go Carlton, Randy Johnson, Tom Glavine, and CC Sabathia. We're gonna check those in, David.
All right. And taking it easily, what'd you have?
A little bit different. Okay, so we agreed on Randy Johnson and Steve Carlton. Thought Sandy Koufax should be in this list, unless I got that wrong, and then I should be thrown out of Jewish Sports Quarterly Hall of Fames. And I think just because the last game, Warren Spahn might have gotten the right to that era where he would have retired and been inducted right around 1970. And I know for a fact that he was a lefty. So we went with Spahn, Koufax, Johnson, and Carlton.
Okay. One team is receiving points. The correct list actually starts with Sandy Koufax in 1972, Steve Carlton, 1994, Tom Glavine in 2014, Randy Johnson in 2015, and CeCe Sabathia in 2025.
Woo.
Warren Spahn
Man.
is a lefty, but I got to check why he wasn't inducted on the first time around. I mean, he won 370 games, so that seems shocking. So I may have to blame Tim Simplot. I'll do some research on the next question. And just since you mentioned it, Scott, Andy Pettit's not in the Hall of Fame at all. I know the
That's
Hall of Fame's a little
stupid.
bit strange, but
That's stupid. And I'm not
anyway.
like this big Andy Pettit guy, but that's stupid.
I hear you. All right. Well, it's possible that Warren Spahn, they were just, it was one of those years where they didn't want to elect anybody, but David Lux now has to eat crow, and I'm going to go yell at Tim Simplot as well, because it appears that Warren Spahn's last game in the majors was 65, which seemingly would make him eligible in 70, but he pitched in the minors for a few years and therefore wasn't eligible until 1973. So he was in fact elected in his first actual year of eligibility. So I'm going to award 40 points to take it easily.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to give 40 points to Throwback Trivia Breakdown. So,
Okay.
all right. There you go. Question number 3. This year, Cam Ward became the second quarterback to be drafted number 1 overall in the NFL draft from the University of Miami, joining Vinny Testaverde, of course. I want you to name the other 5 schools that have had multiple quarterbacks selected number 1 overall in the NFL draft since 1970.
All right, we're gonna check in, David, with some answers.
Excellent. Taking it easily is checked in. Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Let's put your list together pretty quickly here.
Yeah. Well, the one that I threw out immediately so I can get in my move to my next bourbon was USC, because I would imagine it's Carson Palmer and Matt Leinart, but maybe there's others.
Carson Palmer and Caleb Williams
Oh yeah, that guy.
for sure. Yes, Stanford, Elway, and Luck. Oklahoma for sure. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Sam Bradford. So definitely those 3. I feel like there's probably a quarterback from the 70s from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost inclined to say them just on the off chance that there is, to go with Bryce Young. There's a bunch of other schools obviously that we know have one, and I just don't know if they had a second one.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s. Like,
I mean,
I
would guess that Alabama had the best shot, but I'm not sure.
yeah, but let's just keep some points.
Yeah, I like points.
So we'll check in with 3, David: USC, Stanford, and Oklahoma.
Okay. And taking it easily, let's hear your list.
Okay, so we definitely threw around USC. So upsetting that we forgot about Caleb Williams, but we also agree Luck and Elway at Stanford, and I think there's a third one, and I think it's Jim Plunkett, but whatever.
Oh yes.
Oklahoma with Baker and Kyler Murray, and then we said LSU with Burrow and Jamarcus Russell.
my God,
Jamarcus. Dude, okay. I was literally, Scott, I was typing
That's
out
a bad miss.
I was typing out Burrow, and then there's a large a large African American guy, and I can't remember. I literally
Just
was
say
typing
black,
that out.
Adam.
I can say black.
God,
Thank you. I was gonna
everyone
say
can.
I
If you
remember
say
a large
African American,
black-
I get suspicious.
It sounds worse. Yeah.
Okay. There's
right.
a large black quarterback, and I was like, oh,
There you
damn
go.
it! Why didn't I type that?
Okay, we're off the rails here. Let's pull it back.
Okay, and then thank you, Taco, because I was like, I think it's Cal, and I was struggling, and we were stuck on 3 with LSU, Oklahoma, and Stanford, and then I went, oh my gosh, it's an old guy, it's Goff and an old guy, and I was racking my brain, and I believe it is Cal with Jared Goff and Steve Bartkowski, and so we checked them with 4, Cal, Oklahoma, LSU and Stanford.
So you mentioned USC at the beginning. Was that just riffing off of those guys? You didn't have USC on your list.
Because our egregious misses, we forgot about Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Which
Okay,
is
well-
maybe worse than
well, good-
Jamarcus
good-
Russell,
It's
but I
worse
don't
than
feel
Jamarcus
that
Russell.
bad.
Good job to
Yeah.
the 4 of you. Adam definitely gets to drink. I don't know if you get to drink for LSU because you didn't ultimately get points for it, but
I
definitely
threw it out there, but we
Okay,
didn't.
fair
We
enough.
didn't come to it.
Fair enough,
But I
fair
got
enough.
OUSC.
So the entire list is Cal, Steve Bartkowski, and Jared Goff. That's the one that I'm really impressed you got, Marcus, because I didn't think anybody was going to get that one. That
It was literally
my era.
I've talked about this with Taco before.
Okay. Yeah, Steve Bartkowski was drafted in 1975, played with the Falcons actually for a really long time, not even totally as a starter the whole time. So anyway, and of course you mentioned all the others. LSU has had 2, Oklahoma's had 3, Bradford, Baker Mayfield, and Kyler Murray. Stanford, Jim Plunkett is correct, John Elway and Andrew Luck. Elway and Luck, of course, both drafted by the Colts originally. USC is Carson Palmer and Caleb Williams. So good job to everybody. Taking It Easily gets 40 points, and Throwback Trivia Breakdown gets 30 points. Well, after the second quarter, we have a close game. Taking It Easily is at 205 points, and Throwback Trivia Breakdown is right behind with 175 points. And that will bring us to halftime. But before we go there, Adam, what you got?
I have got a nice bourbon here called Shanks. It's from the makers of Michter's. It is 91.2 proof, but it's kind of like their next level up. Pop. And there we go.
So while Adam is enjoying his next bourbon, we will move on to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions pertaining to sports, with each question worth 25 points.
And this halftime is also going to be pre- and post-game style. Half of each will be sports-related, and the other half will be common TV catchphrases. So Adam's got a chance. You're saying there's a chance. So for the catchphrase, I'm going to tell you only the character name or person who made the phrase famous.
These
For
aren't
example,
reality TV shows, right?
No,
Because Adam
not-
didn't do so on the floor.
No, I bombed
reality
it.
TV
I didn't. That
shows.
wasn't my stuff. They gave it to me.
So for example, if I said Mr. Hockey and Joey Tribbiani, you would hopefully just say, Gordy, how you doing?
Okay.
All right? Everybody got it? Question number 1. Ed McMahon on The Tonight Show for 30 years. And the most recent Heisman Trophy winner to play in the Canadian Football League.
We can check in.
All right. Taking It Easily is checked in very fast. Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Well, hopefully Adam. What you got?
Yes, hopefully Adam, because I don't know the Ed McMahon thing. If it
Well,
was Vince
if you can
McMahon,
give me
it'd be
the
your
other
fire.
one, but I think I can get there if you have the sports one.
I don't know how I'm going to pick the most recent Heisman Trophy winner to play in the CFL.
My head goes to hey now, but that's Jeffrey Tambor in the Larry Sanders Show, who was riffing on Ed McMahon, and I can't remember what Ed McMahon's actual catchphrase was.
I mean, most of the Heisman Trophy winners now go to the NFL. It's more common now. So, like, I don't know, Jason White could have played in the CFL. Troy Smith could have played in the CFL, but it's probably someone more recent than that, I would think. An obscure Heisman Trophy winner now. It's so obscure that I can't even think of it. What would Ed McMahon say? Good night.
Good one, Johnny.
Why would he say good one, Johnny?
Because Johnny Carson was the main host.
So why did Ed McMahon say anything?
Because he was the Andy Richter of the
Gotcha.
show. He just
Okay.
sat on the other side of the couch, just kind of.
What if he said thank you, Johnny?
I mean, it's
Or
possible.
good night, Johnny, and then this could be Johnny Manziel would be the
Yeah,
the Heisman Trophy winner.
I don't know if it's thank you, but
It's not here's Johnny.
no, not he.
No,
Johnny.
that's Jack Nicholson.
But it could be something Johnny. It could be.
Right. Thank you, Johnny. Good night, Johnny. I mean, what'd you say if you're it doesn't say like signing off, right? So it could be at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Hello, Johnny.
All right,
I don't know.
let's
We got to
get
put
an
a
answer.
word in front of Johnny. None of those really stood out to you.
None of those stood out. Yeah.
Okay. Beam me up, Johnny. Nope, wrong. Nope.
Hey, Johnny. I don't know.
Hey, sure.
Something
We're gonna
simple.
check in with hey Johnny Manziel.
This is crushing. Okay, and we go to taking it easily.
Oh,
What you guys got?
Josh.
Say hello or
Okay.
good night or thank you.
No, Jack Nicholson was riffing on Ed McMahon
Here's
in that
Johnny.
movie.
Oh, was
Yeah.
he?
Here's Johnny.
Oh wow.
Here's Johnny Manziel.
Yes, and Josh is absolutely correct. So the famous line is Ed McMahon would actually call out Johnny Carson from behind the curtain, and he would say, "Here's Johnny," and then the dun 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 dun, like the Tonight Show theme would play. It was the whole thing, but that's exactly what Jack Nicholson was riffing on when he was totally improving in that line in Shining. So anyway, yes, and Johnny Manziel, everyone's favorite quarterback. He had a career 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in the NFL, and a career 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in the CFL. So he's remarkably well balanced.
And he showed up to like one game in the softball league I was
You
in with
said-
him
you
a couple
mentioned
years
it.
ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
But the fan-controlled football league, he might have had better stats.
That's true.
That's
Could
fair.
be.
When did Ed McMahon leave the Tonight Show, David?
It was the early 90s.
Oh,
Here's Johnny, damn it.
like,
Carson was done by 92, and so it's probably
Carson,
then.
I think McMahon must have gone out with him, and then Jay Leno came in and
Hey, Johnny, you're
You're
See, he was tired from carrying around those oversized checks all the time, so that's why he just sat on the couch and did nothing.
Well, Adam's 85 and I'm 89, so we weren't watching the Tonight Show.
It's a pretty
with Ed McMahon.
pretty famous line. All right, well, this might not get better for you in question 2, but you did strangely foreshadow it. Question 2, Mr. Spock and the Vikings' top receiver by yardage in 2011, who would go on to play for the Seahawks, Jets, and Bills.
We are checking in, David.
All right, well, thank you. Taking It Easily has checked in, and we may have breaking news here. Throwback Trivia Breakdown may actually have a full answer from Adam Speas. Let's hear it.
I did something. Live long and prosper, Percy Harvin. Live long and prosper, Percy Harvin.
All right. Very nice. And Taking It Easily?
Yeah. I mean, can't forget the priestly blessing.
That's right.
Too.
Yeah.
And the guy whose kick return for a touchdown in the Super Bowl I missed because I was charging my phone in the stairwell. Live long and prosper, C. Harvin.
Both teams are receiving points. Well done. Adam.
So we're going up to 97 proof. This is Jack Daniel's 10-year. So Jack Daniel's, you may not think of high class, but their specialty pours are phenomenal. And this 10-year bourbon is chef's kiss.
Question number 3. Michael Scott from The Office and the player who owns the NFL record for longest interception return and also won an NCAA championship, Super Bowl, and 2004 Defensive Player of the Year during his career.
David, we are checked in.
All right. We have a check-in and maybe a contribution from Adam from Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Taking It Easily, you guys get to talk this out.
I can tell you, honestly, I've never watched more than 2 to 3 episodes in a row ever, and I've never have any context because it's just not for me. So what are we?
We're looking for the Michael Scott's catchphrase and the player who owns the NFL record for longest interception return.
Oh, okay. I got it then. Because I had a feeling on the second half, but now that I know that I forgot we're looking for the catchphrase. That's what threw me off about the last question is I, didn't read the question and or forgot the context. That's what she said Reed, because Ed Reed has the longest interception return. Champion with Miami, 2004 Defensive Player of the Year. Better than Troy Polamalu. That's what she said Reed is what we're checking in with.
All right. And Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Let's hear what you got and what Adam contributed.
Adam contributed That's What She Said, and I contributed Ed Reed. So we checked in with That's What She Said Reed.
Very nice. Wow, Adam, this was a good half for you. What are we getting this time around?
I'm glad I did a very small pour of the Jack. Well, we are switching off to a Japanese exclusive. A friend of mine brought this back. Actually, Riley Shearer, y'all know him on the show as well. He brought this back from Japan and gave it to me. This is Evan Williams' 12-year, 101 proof. So we've broken ahead of 100 proof.
All right. Well, we have reached the end of halftime, and Adam still has more bourbon to go. So we'll see if he can contribute anything to the next round. But our score going into the third quarter is Taking It Easily with 280 points and Throwback Trivia Breakdown with 225 points. And that will bring us to the third quarter, which today will be The Missing Link.
The Missing Link. This quarter will consist of 5 questions with theme-linked answers. The teams will attempt to answer the questions and guess the theme. Each question is worth 20 points. If a team checks in first via chat to the host with the correct theme before the 5th question, they will earn 100 points. The other team can still earn 50 points with the correct theme guess. If neither team has checked in with the correct theme before the 5th question, each team can earn 50 points with the correct answer to the theme after the 5th question.
Question number 1. I'm looking for the university and mascot name of the East Coast school that jumped from FCS to FBS this year, becoming the only FBS school in their state.
We can check in.
Taking It Easily, very fast check-in, Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Let's hear you break this down.
Yeah, I don't know this, Adam. So let's just think of some East
only
Coast
FBS in their state.
Right.
That's got to be a crappy state for.
Well, right. So is it like a Rhode Island or a Delaware?
Yeah,
I would imagine it's
Rhode Island, Delaware.
Right, because Connecticut already has UConn's already, right, and I mean But I guess it could be Maine. New Hampshire. I mean, New Jersey's got like Rutgers.
Yeah, yeah, and Princeton. They're both
Yeah. I'm sorry that when I think of New Jersey schools, I think of Rutgers first. I'm
sure.
so sorry to all you Princeton people out there. David's probably happy though that I don't think of Princeton first.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those. Yeah, I mean, we're shooting it. If it's a crapshoot, I guess. Pick one of the states.
You pick one. I don't
right.
care.
Let's go Delaware.
Okay, so we need this. Yeah, I don't know what they're called.
Yeah,
Delaware Nighthawks.
yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
Right? It would
that's
be.
way too cool.
In fact, yeah, that's so cool that that's going
Delaware
to be our
white
answer.
people.
Oh, that's a better answer. Yeah, we're going to check in with the University of Delaware white people.
You don't mean European Americans? Or what, Caucasian
I'm going to start calling them
Americans or
everybody.
whatever.
European American.
Okay. Let's see. Taking it easily.
So before I came here to Baltimore, I spent a couple of years interning at the University of Delaware. So you are right with Delaware. Shout out to the Blue Hens of the University of Delaware and their quarterback, Nick Minicucci. They've had some pretty exciting games this year. They beat ETSU. I follow them all the time. Yeah, they jumped up from FCS to FBS this year. I think the other school that did so, I forget if it's Montana State or Missouri State. Is it Missouri State, the other one that did it this year? But yeah, Delaware, very exciting to be in the FBS. They won a couple of FCS national championships when they were at the lower level. And so, jumping up here is a big question of investment in the university and all that. But Delaware Blue Hens.
One team is receiving points, and it is sadly not the Delaware. What did you call them? The Blackhawks? Or no, ultimately you didn't.
European
The
Americans.
white people.
European American, the white people, the Delaware white people. No, the correct answer is the Delaware Blue Hens, alma mater of Joe Flacco, Elena Delle Donne. It is true. There are now only 8 states left that do not have FBS schools. I could make you guess, but I'll just tell you it's Alaska.
No,
Maine,
save it for a lucky 7.
That's right. Nah, it's Alaska, Maine, Montana, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Rhode Island, South Dakota, and Vermont. By the way, the Ivy League is not FBS. They're still in.
Oh,
They're
Yeah.
so. Yes.
Shout out to
And they
to
don't play
Delaware.
in bowls or
You may have,
postseason.
if you're
No
if you're a
postseason.
sports stats guy like me, you may have noticed that not only did Delaware make the jump, but they won their first game this season. So they briefly at 1-0 for 1 week, they had the best all-time record in FBS history, which is pretty cool.
Shout out to their quarterback. Adam always roots for Mini Coochie. So,
Always.
Yes.
Love Mini Coochie.
Um,
Marcus' face as he went off screen.
All right, our theme linked answers thus far: the Delaware Blue Hens. Question number 2. Australian Football League team who has won 5 premierships, but not since 2012. Marcus probably thinks they're undeserving.
We can check it.
Okay. Taking it easily has checked in. Throwback trivia breakdown. Your time to talk this out.
This is tough because I feel like Marcus would think many things could possibly be undeserving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there a team called the Thunder? Is there a team called Oregon or the Ducks?
Thunder makes sense. Fits with the clue, and I think it makes more sense for an
Yeah.
Australian football team.
All right, we're gonna check in with the Thunder.
Okay. And taking it easily, what'd you have?
Well, Marcus, who do you think is undeserving to be in the Hall of Fame in Canton?
That bitch ass Lynn Swan.
I checked in with Sydney Swans. Is that right?
One team is receiving points. It is the Sydney Swans. It was absolutely a Lynn Swan reference. Swans. Our themed linked answers thus far are the Delaware Blue Hens and Sydney Swans. Okay, Adam, I want you to pay attention because this is probably the least sports-related question. So you got some bourbon chance here. Okay. Question 3. First used in Antwerp in 1920. This symbol is said to represent the union of continents.
We can check in.
All right, taking it easily has
And I'm
checked in. And throwback trivia breakdown. This is your chance to talk this out. Adam, I'm counting on you.
Well, how? Yeah,
Yeah, he's supposed to just guess a symbol
exactly.
from 1920
From
that represents the
1920.
continents. Remember when Prince was a symbol? Maybe it's that.
Yeah, exactly. Ampersand? Is that it?
You said a dove.
I said, oh, yeah, like a
Which
white
does make
dove of
sense
peace or something like
because
that.
I do feel like that's a peace symbol.
It is, and so that's maybe.
Yeah, I like that as much as anything else.
Oh, yeah. So we're gonna go with Dove.
Yeah, let's do
All
it.
right.
Let's go with Dove.
Which was my answer. So just in case, then I'll move up in bourbon if that's it.
Sure. All right. Well, keep the lid on your bourbon. Taking it
Oh.
easily. What did you have?
Well, the only way we thought to make this make sense in a sporting context was to think about what could connect continents and different countries. So we thought about the Olympics and the 5 Olympic rings. So the Olympic symbol with the 5 rings interlocking.
So, yes. So the Olympics were in Antwerp in 1920, and I don't remember who's credited with the design, but the 5 Olympic rings were the 5 continents that were participating. And Adam, you were right there. You mentioned the Olympics. I was sure you were going to get it there.
I don't know.
But
Okay.
anyway, okay. Well, our themed linked answers thus far are the Delaware Blue Hens, the Sydney Swans, and the Olympic rings. Question number 4. In 1985, he lost to Hulk Hogan in the war to settle the score. I guess he must have had some bubble gum left.
David, we are checked in.
Okay. Throwback Trivia Breakdown has checked in. Taking it easily. You get to talk about this.
We don't need to, I don't think. Josh Snyder, are you with me on this?
I am with you 100%.
Oh, yeah, because it's got to be Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Okay.
Because he came to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and he's all out of bubblegum. So, Rowdy Roddy Piper, check it in.
And Throwback Trivia Breakdown. What did you have? Adam, was this you? Are we getting some bourbon?
Well, Scott knew it, of course, as well. But yes, the bubblegum line easily gives it away to They Live, and it is Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Both teams have nailed this one. The quote is, "I have him here to chew bubblegum and kick some ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum." So he lost to Hogan because he must have had some bubblegum. That was my roundabout way of getting to Roddy Piper. Our themed linked answers thus far are the Delaware Blue Hens, Sydney Swans, Olympic rings, and Roddy Piper.
And the bourbon that we're swapping to is Maker's Mark Heart Release, which was a special release that they did last year. It is 111.7.
Question number 5. The 2002 premiere episode of Celebrity Boxing featured the actor who played Greg Brady getting knocked down 5 times by the actor who most famously played this role.
We're going to check in.
Great. Taking it easily has checked in. Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Till you break it down.
They're gonna obviously 3, 2, 1. Or they're gonna Jeopardy Partridge.
Yes.
Because as soon as Greg Brady, I was like, who would knock out Greg Brady?
Yeah.
Marsha, you would think, but
I was quite certain that Danny Bonaducci was in Celebrity Boxing early on,
right.
But I just don't remember his character.
Which one is who's Keith? Is David Cassidy Keith Partridge? There's a Keith for sure.
I didn't watch.
Same. Shout out to Meatloaf though. He was a Partridge Family fan.
Okay.
But I do know I watched the reality show The New Partridge Family that aired in the early 2000s. Yeah, we can just go Partridge because I don't know if there's definitely Keith. There's a but we'll check in with Partridge.
Okay,
if
and
allowing it.
Taking it easily. I'll let it go. Taking it easily. What did you check in?
I just keep thinking about Beavis saying Bonaducci. But so yeah, we just have Partridge. I never watched that show either.
Both teams are getting credit. It was actually David Cassidy who played Keith Partridge, but
yeah, that's what I thought.
But Danny Bonaducci played Danny Partridge. Not exactly very exciting.
Okay.
Kept the same name.
Great theme song though.
Yeah, it was. Our themed linked answers in total: Delaware Blue Hens, Sydney Swans, Olympic rings, Roddy Piper, and Danny Partridge. We have a fairly rare event in Benchwarmers lore. One team actually checked in an incorrect answer, then corrected it, but the other team in their first guess then followed up by getting it incorrectly. So the team that actually gets the 100 points this time is the Throwback Trivia Breakdown.
Yeah.
So let's have them break down, and then we can hear from both teams. But let's hear them break down when it hit them.
Yes,
it's not going to be very exciting. It was after rings when I started to think, how do rings go with birds? And I was like, they don't. But when we guessed doves, I was thinking, again, these are all birds, but they're also all birds from a particular song.
Mm-hmm.
That rings are also in. pipers. I believe 11 pipers were piping.
Yeah.
So we checked in with items in the 12 days of Christmas.
That is correct. And Josh, do you want to share what happened at your end? Just for yucks.
Yeah, yucks lucks. The birds. Yeah, we went with birds. We were just thinking about birds and why do birds suddenly appear every time Adam Speas is near?
Yeah.
So then I said, oh, I think I know this song. It's 12 Days of Christmas song. And then I wrote, it took a rabbi to answer that. And Marcus may not have known that that's something about me.
So no, I do know. Here's the thing. I was like, you were like Sydney Swans, and I was like, cool, birds, whatever. And then we were both like, this is Olympic rings. So we screwed up royally.
Yeah.
And then obviously right after that, we were like, shoot, this is definitely the 12 Days of Christmas. Yeah. So, yep, that's how we got the correct answer in before them while also missing our first attempt. So,
well, there you go. It is the 12 Days of Christmas. And this episode, as people are listening to it, is somewhere in the lead up 10, 12 days right before Christmas, because this episode drops in mid-December. So this will be the last Benchwarmers episode that drops this year, or maybe, sorry, at least before Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everybody. And
you couldn't find David, you couldn't find a way to get maids of milking into one of these questions.
Here, you be patient, my friend, because you just watch what you better just watch what you wish for. So at the end of the third quarter, we have Throwback Trivia Breakdown now with 365 points and Taking It Easily with 430 points. So it is still anyone's game. That will bring us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
Question number 1 will be about ladies dancing and maids of milking.
Ooh.
Question 2 will be about pipers piping. Question 3 will be about 5 golden rings. And question 4 will be about calling birds. So question 1, ladies dancing and maids of milking, believe it or not, will be about the LPGA. Yeah, you're going to have fun with this. Question number 2 will be about the WWF. Question number 3 will be about college sports. And question 4 will be about Big Four team names. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question 1, ladies dancing or maids of milking? On the Ladies PGA Tour, who was the last U.S. woman to win LPGA Rookie of the Year back in 2005? She would go on to win the U.S. Women's Open in 2010. And you guys were like, what?
I just want to see how you tie this to milking.
We can check in.
All right. Taking It Easily has finally checked in. Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Don't torture us too much. Just give us an answer.
No, you've tortured us by asking this question and prefacing it with ladies dancing, maids of milking. The only way I'm going to get there, Adam, is if I try to think of someone who maybe had a career as a maid and or dancer. But I was thinking ladies dancing, Elizabeth Berkley, right? I'm thinking Showgirls or Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, yeah. They are dancers.
Yeah, let's just throw out a last name and.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were going to go with the one that you threw out.
No, let's go Berkeley.
Berkeley sounds good.
Berkeley.
Sure.
All right.
With Berkeley for 0 points.
She was underrated on that show.
For 0 points. Okay, good. Okay.
Correct.
And Taking It Easily, what did you have?
Oh boy, what a journey. We kind of came back. We just threw out Michelle Wee at the beginning, and we thought, is David going to just make the pun to like weed away, like curds and whey? That's the best we have. So we're going to go with Michelle Wee. 20 points.
So to no one's surprise, there will be no points awarded on this question. The ladies dancing was just a reference to the fact that it was the LPGA Tour. The maids of milking was trying to push you in the right direction because there is a woman on the LPGA Tour by the name of Paula Creamer.
Oh my God, Josh!
We're so close.
I was so close. I just I just apropos of nothing
I've
said
seen a video with her
cream,
too, I promise.
LOL.
Well,
was
her name is
apropos of
Paula
something.
Creamer. Right. Look,
Apropos of
I
cash
don't
rules.
I don't write this stuff.
Everything.
At least we lost a total of 20 points. So there's something.
And 20
Okay,
listeners.
question 2, Piper's piping. In 1986, Rodney Piper's Pit, feuded with the Flower Shop, which would lead to a WrestleMania 3 matchup between Roddy Piper and this host of the Flower Shop, who would die only a year later in a car accident. Name him.
We're gonna go ahead and check in,
All right.
Lux.
All right. Taking it easily has checked in. Throwback trivia breakdown. What you got?
What gimmick would make sense for them to call it the flower? Was there a florist? Adrian Adonis, maybe?
I mean, I've heard the name,
I'm
but
pretty sure they have a Mania match. I don't know which Mania it is. Like it's hard at 6. All right. So
I mean, I have no idea.
Adrian Adonis was like,
And that, I mean, that could fit with the flower shop, sure. I don't know.
yeah, it's not like Brutus the barber butcher
Yeah,
beefcake
George the
because
Animal Steel, was he too old?
he's still alive, and
Yeah.
and George Animal Steel I think was alive into the 90s.
Okay.
I believe. Let's go Adrian Adonis just because Savage is WrestleMania
Yeah.
3. That's what people pretty much remember. Let's go Adrian Adonis. We're gonna check in with Adrian Adonis for 100 points.
All right. And taking it easy, what'd you have?
Oh my gosh, that's super annoying. Yeah, I've been doing a rewatch of Dark Side of the Ring, and this was not that long ago. So yeah, I knew that the Flower Shop was one. Adrian Adonis, which we also checked in for 100 points.
Both teams are receiving points. Yeah, this was a big part in the mid '80s. It was not exactly tastefully done. Adrian Adonis just he started out when he originally came in the WWF, from what I remember, was like wore a black leather jacket, was like from New York City, and then they changed his character and he became this incredibly effeminate, like
Right,
flower
blonde
shop
hair,
owner.
pink
He wore
tights,
pink all the time.
boots.
It was really pretty
Yeah.
homophobic. It was
Yes.
like the whole thing was pretty awful. But yes, he fought with Piper, and then a year later, he and some other sort of mid carders were in a car in, I think, Newfoundland in Canada, and
Yeah.
car went off the road, and yeah.
Yep.
So, but he was pretty talented. He was a not a very athletic looking guy, but he just did a lot of things you just never expect. So anyway. All right. Well, both teams are receiving points, 100 points for both teams. Question number 3, 5 golden rings. After winning 4 NCAA championships as a student, Aaron Matson graduated from UNC and within a month was named the head coach at her alma mater. In her first season as coach, the Tar Heels won another national championship, making her the youngest head coach to ever win an NCAA title at only age 23, and also giving her a total of 5 golden rings. For what sport is Aaron Matson the UNC coach?
David, we're gonna check in.
All right. We have a check-in from Throwback Trivia Breakdown. Taking it easily. Let's have you guys take a minute to talk this out.
I think we've got to be moved off of soccer because North Carolina is such.
That's just what I associate with them being great at a women's sport.
But for them to hire like one of their senior players right after graduating as their head coach for such a nationally
Yeah, that's
program,
true.
But they did win 4 national championships, so no matter what sport it's going to be, they're at the top of their game. They just,
Yeah, it's feasible to just say they just hired, or they had the same coach for a long time. I just don't know what other sport it could be.
I sort of, I may be like, Mandela affecting myself here and trying to remember this, but I sort of remember recognized coach for soccer for many years retiring recently and like passing the baton.
I think you're right. Yeah. Oh yeah, so that would okay, well then let's think about the other ones because I think you're right. So volleyball, I have no idea about the championship.
No, but I'm saying that makes it right. Which is that I think that she took over recently after.
I see what you're saying.
After their
I thought you just meant
coach.
Well, I have to look at the question because I don't want to be an idiot. I mean, I don't have anything better. I don't have very much context for this other than that I know UNC traditionally is very good at soccer.
Yeah, and other sports that we were talking about, like volleyball, I feel like that's like Big Ten tends to win those championships or West Coast teams. Swimming, all these other ones like Stanford ends up, winning a bunch of them. Softball, we know, has moved around, and things like
Right.
tennis and track and field are probably, as a team sports, a bit more obscure. But hey, it doesn't mean Lux wouldn't ask them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to go on here.
All right, so we're gonna check in cautiously with women's soccer
For 100 points.
For 100 points. Okay. And throwback trivia breakdown, what you guys have?
Yeah, we had a similar kind of conversation, just going through different sports, trying to think of what maybe makes sense to be able to bring in a coach like that early. Like, went through a couple things, and in the end, we decided to check in with lacrosse for 100 points.
Both are good guesses. Neither team will be receiving points. You guys were spot on with your reasoning about soccer. It's too big a sport to bring in somebody who's 22.
Yeah.
Right at. They had won a lot of championships under their legendary coach by the name of Anson Dorrance, but when he went away, they had an associate head coach all ready to go. The correct answer here is actually field hockey. UNC has been very dominant in field hockey. They won 4 national championships, just like the question says. Promoted their coach. Promoted their player, and she actually didn't. I think it was one of these years where because it was COVID, she had 5 years of eligibility, so she won 4 championships as an undergrad, but I think it wasn't 4 straight. And then she immediately became coach, won at 23, so they won 5 championships in 6 years. All right. Well, we don't need to talk about our scores. Hasn't really changed yet. Changed much. So our last question of the night will be a 2-parter. Question is on calling birds. 2-part question. Which of the Big 4 leagues has the most bird-inspired team names? And question number 2, what's the most recent Big 4 franchise to stop using a bird name after they moved?
We can check in.
On our final question of the night, taking it easily, has checked in. Adam, last chance to earn some bourbon.
My official, like, my off the rip answer is the NFL, but I mean,
I also think it's the NFL.
Okay, so if that's correct, then I'll be able to switch to my second to last bourbon. You won't get my highest proof, or one of my highest proof.
It was either, I knew coming into it was going to be NFL or Major League Baseball, but I think it's just Cardinals, Blue Jays, and Orioles in Major League Baseball.
And then there's the Eagles, Cardinals, Seahawks, Falcons for NFL.
And the Ravens.
And the Ravens. You're right. So it's 5. That's
so I think it's NFL.
Penguins, Ducks for NHL. Oh. I can't think of really any others off the top of my head.
So then the other thing is a team that switched after moving. That's like, we got to think teams that have moved. I know there's been a lot of movement in hockey, but I don't think any of those teams were bird names.
The Thrashers. Thrashers swapped to the Winnipeg Jets.
Then that's probably it, because mine was the Milwaukee Robins becoming the Bucks, but they didn't move. They just changed their team name. 2011,
I think. Could have been earlier, but I think it was 2011 when the Thrashers went up to Winnipeg.
Right, and there aren't many teams that have moved in any sport since that time anyway, right? So I just want to make sure there's no other teams that have moved, at least, and the teams that have moved recently haven't necessarily changed their name, right? Like the NFL teams coming to LA, and they haven't changed their name. Baseball hasn't had any movement since the Nationals. In the NBA, the teams that have moved were not birds. The Hornets moving to New Orleans to become a bird.
Yes. If it's both the NFL and the Thrashers moving, then I contribute on both of those, and so both of my last 2 whiskeys I will show off if that happens.
Well, then we're checking it in, because I just want you to do that regardless. So go ahead and check it in, sir.
All right, so we're gonna check in with the NFL and the the Big 4. Most recent Big 4 franchise to stop using a bird name. So the franchise, the Thrashers, Atlanta Thrashers, who became the Winnipeg Jets.
Okay, and taking it easily, what did you guys have?
Not much. You guys pretty much talked the whole thing out. Unless a coyote is a bird, which I haven't.
Not where I'm from.
Yeah, it's the NFL with 5 teams. Yeah, Cardinals, Eagles, Ravens, Falcons, and Seahawks, which is not a real bird, but is the best bird at the same time. And the Thrashers, which is the brown thrasher, isn't it? Like the state bird of Georgia?
State bird of Georgia, yes, sir.
All right. Well, both teams have broken this down beautifully and are receiving their 100 points. It is, in fact, and Josh was right, there are 5 in the NFL. Depending on how you count, 2 or 3 in the NBA. There's some people who said a raptor was supposed to be a bird originally, which I think is ridiculous. Of course, it's a velociraptor, so I don't know what the hell they're talking about. The
You mean
NHL
that
is
I think
2.
the team name was going to be a bird. It wasn't going to
No.
be Raptors.
Yeah,
But birds
maybe.
are descended from dinosaurs. dude.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
That is
true.
true. So maybe that's
Ooh.
what people are after. So NHL, there's the Ducks and the Penguins, and Scott mentioned it's the Orioles, Cardinals, and Blue Jays in Major League Baseball. And yes, I didn't know that Adam was going to be on when I wrote this question, but it is the state bird of Georgia. It's one of 2 state birds. Is the thrasher. So the Atlanta Thrashers moved and became the Winnipeg Jets. I thought I would trip some people up, but no such luck. Our game has come to an end, and here are the final scores. Throwback Trivia Breakdown finished with an extremely respectable 465 points and about 7 bourbons. But our clipboard captains of the game, who are receiving the highly coveted Steve Bartkowski Award with 510 points, was taking it easily. Well done to all. Adam,
job.
let's hear what your last 2 bourbons are before we hit the road.
My first one is Stag Junior. This is batch 23B. It's 127.8 proof. I took a little high jump on that one. I'm going to just take a small sip of this guy before I go into the highest of the proof ones that I brought.
You're about to get to embalming fluid.
That's right.
Oh, that's good. I really enjoy Stag. The other one that I brought is actually from New York. It is Kings County Distillery. It is their barrel strength. This one is 137.6 proof. And I am not joking when I say it's just one of my absolute favorites. Pop. Right now, it is just chock full.
Well,
of
judging
flavor.
from what's left in the bottle, it looks like it's one of your favorites.
I have a backup already waiting
okay,
because I
all
know I'm
right.
going to be killing this one.
All right,
over
all
the
right, good,
next
good.
month or so.
Good.
Yeah, so good.
Awesome. All right. Well, Adam, once you drink that, hopefully you can hear me at the same time. Any words of wisdom that you want to leave us with for tonight?
Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.
Very nice.
Oh, and check out Throwback Trivia Takedown. It's a decent show.
I want to thank you all for listening. And on behalf of Adam, all of our Patreon listeners, and all of our regular listeners, Scott, Josh, Marcus, and the rest of the Benchwarmers, I want to say thank you for listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Until next time, we will keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes!
Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at Benchwarmers TP.